how uniquely created we are. Each one of us have different talents and abilities. You do not have to follow in the footsteps of others, right, Mazino?
No, you don't have to follow in my footsteps. They are unique. Sometimes we are aware of the inner potential we possess, but most often we're not.
Yeah, near, far, wherever you are, one thing we share in common is the precious gifts of the air we breathe and this great breakfast show to look forward to every single morning.
And who's looking forward to seeing Max Beard? He is in the studio. Yay!
Yay!
How you doing, man?
Yeah, it's Tuesday, right?
Yeah.
So we woke up to get some news. We'll talk about that later,
Yes,
of course,
indeed.
about the impending lockdowns, all of that. But hey, come on, it's a good morning to be alive.
Which is very funny because I came to work using your routes today.
Okay.
Yeah, because there was a terrible traffic at Oshoji, so I had to go back all the way into Ikeja, Yogba, and everything. I'm like, oh, Mike does this every morning.
So you know what happens? I don't know, recent, even today, I don't know, trucks have been breaking down too much and all of that. So, I know. But hey, come on, we'll pull through.
In any case, welcome to our most anticipated Tuesday edition. We have another opportunity to improve on what was done only just yesterday. So thank you for joining us yet again. And of course, yes, thank you for joining everybody here. It's an amazing show coming your way, all planned out for you today. Just get your very comfortable position and sit right there for the next hour and 45 minutes, and we are going to make this work. My name is Mazino Appeal.
And I am Tokwa Olonia. Now remember, you can be a part of the conversation today. Use the hashtag across all our social media platforms. Wake Up Nigeria on TVC to be a part of the best breakfast show in the world.
And you can also carry us with you anywhere you're going across the world live. You want to use the mobile app or on Facebook, download the app on Google Play Store or on iOS.
Yes, now remember to follow us across all our social media handles. It is TVC Connect on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And you can also watch the show live on Facebook. Just search for TVC Connect. We're going to be waiting for you. Mazino, let's tell them, what do we have on the highlights for this
Very interesting. Now, to start off, we have health. We'll be joined by Anna Omolayo, a certified caregiver who specializes in geriatrics caregiving. She is the coordinator and founder of Jordan Spring Care, and today she will be discussing how you can manage incontinence in the elderly. And on parenting, Iwalola Uhulu, an educationalist and also marriage counselor who is passionate about building strong and successful families, will be here to discuss kids and responsibility.
And finally, joining us for an interesting conversation, this Nigerian singer, songwriter, actress, and judge on Nigerian Idol, Deborah Shay, professionally known as Shay Shay.
Alrighty then, who's excited that Shay Shay is going to be here? Okay, guys, come on.
We all are, but we're wondering at your super. I don't know.
Who is super excited?
Exactly.
Who's super excited? The last time I saw her was in the era of electric package, so now she's grown. So I'm excited.
So
to see
another
her
level
again.
of controversy.
She's actually a fun person. I enjoy having conversations with her. Last year when I was doing my IG Live series, she was one of those I had a conversation with. Yeah, she's really cool.
Very energetic, she is. Okay, so yesterday everybody was, social media was abuzz with the whole hashtag lockdown thing, hashtag COVID-19 restriction.
I kind of like brought it to yours.
No, I heard about it from before.
Oh, you were just sleeping on it.
I heard about it from before, but I just thought, you know.
Yeah, I'm trying to let everybody know that I'm the cool kid in this group. I'm the cool one.
One time she posted something on the group as information and we'll not hear what. She does not know we've all seen it on social media.
It's no longer news.
Whatever.
I tried to help you.
I saw the news.
So yes, so it's COVID and also, what's the term to use now? Hashtag Japa. Also,
oh yeah, then there is that as well.
Yes, that's of course. Some people will say it was taken out of context. So yeah, it wasn't taken out of context. It was just a part that was cut out. That's talking about Paul Harrison's message, as it were. But it's quite interesting if you want to analyze what he said and the full thing and all of that. Quite interesting.
Yeah. So the thing is this, as you said, there are two things right now. Number one, the COVID-19 restriction. The fact remains that the midnight curfew was never ended. Yeah, it was never announced that, oh, you can move around. But you know how it is now when people feel, oh, there's no law. If there's a law, nobody's really enforcing it. Yeah. So it's now a case of, okay, we are enforcing it. And I'm not trying to frighten anybody, but there's a reality check for all of us that over the next few months, we should start preparing for something that might maybe increase the hours. We are not taking precautions. Realistically, we are not. I hardly see people move around with face mask. And when you move around with face mask, people literally avoid you. It happens to me. They will tell you that, carry your COVID-19, come out for my side. Yeah. Well, it's gotten that bad.
We're going to talk more about this. When we get back, we'll do some news.
Welcome to the news update on Wake Up Nigeria. My name is Tokwe Olonio. We begin this hour in Abuja, where the federal government has reintroduced new COVID-19 restrictions across all 36 states and the Federal Capital Territory. This new directive is to take effect midnight yesterday. This was part of the resolution of the Presidential Steering Committee earlier yesterday in the capital city. A member of the Presidential Steering Committee, Mukhtar Mohammed, who is the head of Technical Secretariat of the PSC, made the announcement while briefing reporters in Abuja. With the imposed restrictions, mass gatherings in public spaces have been restricted to 50 people at any given time. Access to government institutions would also be denied to anyone not wearing a face mask, while government meetings and travels have been limited to the virtual platform. According to Mohammed, the government has directed the bars and nightclubs should remain closed, and the nationwide curfew will be in full force until further notice. He added that only essential international travels would be encouraged and all existing protocols must be strictly adhered to. The PSC member, however, stated that there was no limitation to intrastate travels. Meanwhile, returning foreign passengers who fled the quarantine facilities and violated the compulsory requirements will no longer go unpunished. The Secretary to the Government of the Federation, SGF, Boss Mustafa, stated this at the resumed briefing of the Presidential Steering Committee, PSC, on COVID-19 in Abuja. He noted the committee has received reports that some persons who recently returned to the country violated the mandatory quarantine requirement under the advisory by escaping from the facilities. Mr. Mustafa, who is also the PSC chairman, condemned the violation of the nation's law and hospitality, noting that the committee was awaiting the report of ongoing investigations and would impose appropriate sanctions on the violators. The SGF explained that this became important in view of the fragile state of the nation's security and health systems, the disruption to the delivery of vaccines, and the lack of compliance with the extant public health measures and social measures contained in the Coronavirus Disease Health Protection Regulations 2021. Outside Nigeria, a growing number of current and recovered COVID-19 patients in India are contracting a deadly and rare fungal infection as the vast nation battles to contain a massive outbreak of virus cases. The world's second most populous nation earlier yesterday reported nearly 370,000 coronavirus infections to take the overall number of cases to just under 22.7 million and more than 3,700 new deaths. Experts warn that the actual number of cases and fatalities could be much higher. Mucormycosis, dubbed black fungus by doctors in India, is usually most aggressive in patients whose immune systems are weakened by other infections. Medical experts say they had seen a rise in cases in India in recent weeks, while the Health Ministry on Sunday released an advisory on how to treat the infection. Now, back in Nigeria, the Central Bank Governor, Mr. Godwin Emefiele, has called for more private sector involvement in the improving healthcare sector in the country. The CBN governor, who made the disclosure at the premiere of a documentary on Nigeria's response to the COVID-19 pandemic titled Unmasked, says the Apex Bank has disbursed over 83.9 billion to pharmaceutical and healthcare practitioners in the country since the outbreak of the COVID-19 pandemic. Mr. Emefiele also said building a robust healthcare infrastructure is critical to containing the spread of the pandemic in Nigeria, adding that the CBN remains committed to working with all stakeholders in improving access to finance and credit that will support the development of a viable healthcare infrastructure in the country. Meanwhile, Lagos State...
That indeed, what COVID had brought forward to us are things that indeed, if we take the positive side of it, we can use to galvanize and to create, that tomorrow and the belief that we're saying to ourselves. And so let's look at ourselves in the face and ask ourselves that what are the lessons and the learning that COVID indeed has passed on to our generation? What are we doing differently that will ensure that all of the mistakes, known and unknown, that COVID has caused us, how are we positioning ourselves to ensure that?
Well, that's all we can take on the news updates for this hour on Wake Up Nigeria.
Well, good morning and welcome. Once again, it's the paper segment and we get to tell you the headlines on today's dailies, and very interesting headlines on today. You might want to grab copies of these. Let's get to it already, starting with the Daily Sun this morning. If you are with me, we start with COVID-19 restrictions, FG bans mass gatherings, reintroduces curfew, and also religious groups, weddings, nightclubs affected. Big question about that one, whether it was actually taken away from before, but well, this you could take as a reiteration on the circumstance. Still on the Daily Sun, Lagos police allege plan by secessionist group to protest, and residents list security challenges, back governor to take urgent action. IPOB not planning to attack Lagos, says Kanu. To the side here of the Daily Sun, hashtag NSARS PCS receives report, promises to probe alleged police misconduct, and fresh protest in Abuja goes violent. NPA MD suspension ministry to probe Intel's pilotage contract and others, and soldiers kill bandits top commanders, 48 others in Zamfara. That you can find on the Daily Sun. We move on now to our next paper, and that is the Punch newspaper. For this morning, we have, well, similar headline on it for the COVID-19 instance. Deadly COVID-19 variant. Expert warn as FG restricts gatherings, revives curfew, bans nightclubs and others. Government says worship centers shouldn't exceed 50% capacity. And also the 12 midnight to 4 a.m. curfew has been revived. At the bottom of the Punch newspaper this morning, IPOB denies planned attack on Lagos, police other probe, and also families kick as a murder suspect dies in police custody. That made plenty of round on social media only yesterday. Minister leads delegation to Ghana over Nigerian traders' ordeal. And we move quickly now to our next paper, and that is the Nigerian Tribune for this morning, which has the big headline, security breach at Buhari's COS Aso Rock residence. Presidency confirms burglars made foolish attempt. This you can find on page 29. And the Oyo government promises to pay salaries, allowances of sacked LG chairman and councillors, and another INEC office set ablaze. Gunmen abduct many in Katsina, mosque, police rescue 30, and Buhari moves to resolve Ghana-Nigeria trade conflict, sends delegation. And also at the bottom here, Lagos holds security summit, issues 12-point resolution. And lastly, NLC to ground Kaduna from May 16 over workers' sack. Find these and many more headlines inside of the dailies. If you want to bring us into your conversation, make sure you use the hashtag WakeUpNigeria on TVC. We would love to respond to you.
All right.
Okay, so why are we acting like we got caught in the act of something? Because we did.
Because people are doing things
I think we have two shows. There's one that happens when the cameras are off, and then there's another one that happens when the cameras are not on.
Like the prim and proper show.
This is it.
I know we have three. The third show is the Mike show.
Yeah. The Mike Mesekeno show. Which often comes with this stoic visage.
Yes, that look of what you say.
Fake innocent look.
Yes, like this.
Yes, like I don't know what they're talking about. They lie.
In any case, we have a very interesting conversation, don't we, this morning? Mary and Tokwe are very excited about this topic today.
Titi was also excited about it
considering relocating.
Me, I'm not considering relocating.
And all this talk of immigration, it's all good. But tell us about it, please.
Okay, so there's this law. We mentioned it briefly yesterday, and that's what we're talking about social media-wise. So you can go tweet at TVC Connect, hashtag WakeUpNigeria on TVC. Okay, so there's this law that is about to be implemented. There's this law that will be implemented. Okay, on a more serious note, it might be implemented in South Africa. Now, the law states that marriage will be gender neutral. Now, what this means is that as men can marry more than one wife, women will be able to marry more than one husband. So the topic today is, should we adopt this law in Nigeria?
Yes.
Yay or nay?
Yay.
Now, we already even have our answers here. We have the yay and we have the Nay.
Obviously.
So we want to know.
They don't want to be somebody's second husband.
No one, don't mind them. But they want to make second
Why
wife.
give me answer?
Oh yeah, let's hear your opinion.
We have more important laws to talk about.
What's that?
This is an important law.
Very important.
Very important. You see, men will start marrying one wife. One wife.
They'll not say no, we should give them time.
But officially, in Nigeria, you can't marry more than one wife.
In Nigeria?
Yes.
Actually, you can.
You can't, because that's why the president, even when our past, we've had 2 or 3 presidents who have had more than one wife, they had to bring out one official first lady.
Then what you are saying is they can't marry more than one.
Legally.
In the courts.
Yes, that's legally.
Yes, but they have other wives.
A country that respects religious beliefs as well would take whatever religious beliefs also stand by. And if there's a religion that says you can marry more than one wife,
yes, of course, Islam says so, but in the court of law,
no, actually, Mike, there is a grey area there where you can actually do listen.
Okay, yes, I understand that there's a grey area.
Especially in case of separation and just before divorce, you can actually go ahead and marry another wife.
Yeah,
but legally.
Well, you went to check it out, Abby.
Yes, I did.
Yeah, in Lagos. I don't know about other states, but in Lagos.
You said
please, Lagos State government, don't go and change this.
Can we place our focus on this thing that we're
It's part of it, babe. In Lagos,
area.
bigamy is not exactly a crime. Only in Lagos. And if your divorce is in court.
But you do notice that
that's why I say let's place our focus on the
But people don't know. I'm not encouraging you to go and be married when you've not finished your divorce.
The divorce has to be in process, right?
Yes.
What's the process to be?
And it's because the divorce process usually take a long time. Is why that was.
Because maybe in South Africa, I'm married too many in Nigeria.
No, you can marry if you marry a man in Nigeria now.
I can marry
let's analyze it. We can marry another man in South Africa. So when you go to South Africa, the South African guy cannot talk. But if you come to Nigeria, the Nigerian man can still tell you that you should go.
But you know there's something that the dynamic of this whole South African law that they are suggesting is that they're coming from that gender-neutral angle, which is not. It's very interesting because South African men have been known. Well, it's supposed that they actually marry more than, you know. So it wasn't a thing of say, hey, we're doing this because women have a certain need. It's just the gender aspect that is being pushed forward here. So among other things, this is not just the one thing. There are other things that actually are surrounding that law that is being pushed.
On a lighter note, have you had conversations with men that had more than one wife? Let me tell you what they'll say. I married wife number 1 because she was my best friend.
Yes, my childhood.
Then as we grew older, I married wife number 2 because she was the one that helped contribute to my wealth. I married wife number 3 because
you have to get this one right. No, because she's good I'm getting older. I need somebody that is active.
She's good in active.
She's strong.
I married number 4 because I needed somebody to be my first lady when I become the president of Nigeria. So now they're saying that women can also marry number 1 because childhood friend. Marry number 2 because this one is a rich man, no?
Exactly.
You guys are a bit too excited about it.
Yes, because it's funny.
What a man can do,
a woman can do. Oh, they don't like it.
I like that you guys are
they don't like it.
In any case,
I don't understand. If you want to marry 5 marry now. What's my problem with
Get
that?
up on social media. We've got that posted already. And leave a comment on there. We're asking whether it's a law that Nigerians should also consider themselves.
Yeah.
Yes.
Give us your yay or nay, and we'll be back to talk about it after when it's a social media segment.
Yay, people!
We are parenting this morning. We have Iwalo in the house with us, and she's been around for about 2 weeks now. Today, we're talking about kids and responsibility. You're welcome. It's great to have you on the show this morning.
Thank you. Good morning.
So, growing up, maybe should we do this in ranges, in age ranges? Because, I mean, at the beginning, a kid, somebody who's under 2 or so, would you say someone like that should have a responsibility? So are we looking at it in ranges, or should we look at it as general as kids as a whole?
Sure.
Okay.
It has to be, age appropriate.
Age appropriate, exactly.
Yes.
Okay.
And you can never start too early.
You can't start too early.
Too early, yes.
So how do when should you start teaching kids about responsibility?
Once the child starts talking, the child knows, okay, Mommy, I want to eat. Mommy, I want this. Mommy, give me. Once a child starts talking, you start teaching responsibility.
All right, so
you start young. Because if you don't start young, it might be too late.
Now that is where a lot of people have different issues.
Okay.
What can you exactly? What should you start telling them? What should they start doing? So what kind of responsibility should kids start having as soon as they can talk?
Okay. Yeah, a child wants to drink water, for instance. Okay, go and get water from there. If a child tells me, I want to drink water, okay, get a glass and take water. You are teaching that child that I won't be doing it for you all the time. You can do it for yourself. The child is not handicapped. Okay, go there and take. Of course, when you are doing that, when you're starting here little, you show example how to do it. Okay, you can start by saying, okay, you take a bottle of water, you pour. This is how you pour it in your cup. Then you drink. The child will start learning from there. Okay. The next time, the child will not even want to ask, okay, mommy, I want to drink water. I expect you to bring water. Okay. The child, okay, mommy, he or she can tell you, I want to drink water. Okay, go ahead. Go and take water, because you have shown the child the other time how to pour the water in the glass and drink. Okay. Yes. So now there are other areas now, apart from this, has to do with chores and personal, hygiene and all of that. Okay. Now there are areas like moral obligations, financial obligations, and the way you relate social obligations. How do you teach the child such responsibilities? Okay. As a parent, like I said, they are watching you, how you're doing it. Then you tell them, as you're doing it, you are telling them, okay, this is expected of you. You are expected to take account for your actions. Okay, this is how you're supposed to do it. They see you, you're doing it, and they too will do it. They believe that, okay, I'm supposed to do it. Do you understand what I'm saying? In the case where they don't get to see their parents so often, I mean, in your 21st century parents is most of the time at work. Yes. So, I mean, if not one, maybe, if not both of them, maybe one is around, and then they get to see the parent only early in the morning or late at night and all of that. This can be quite a challenge. Okay, yes. Okay. This can be quite a challenge. How does one surmount such a challenge? Yes. When it comes to teaching them these obligations. If you know the kind of children you want to raise, you make sacrifices. Both parents can. Okay, you have to work. The work is the sacrifice I'm making for my child. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Both parents have to make sacrifice. You sit down and talk about it. Daddy and mommy should not be away all the time. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's not as if they won't work. They will work. Maybe, okay, at the formative years, mommy should take up this kind of job so that she will be more available for the children. While the daddy is always there, morning till night. After formative years, of course, you can decide to change your job, or you can even decide to start your business even right at home. So that you will be there for them to teach them the basic things you need to know. Because if you don't do that, there is no magic that will happen. In the process of teaching, is there place for punitive measures, and how should they be carried out while we're teaching a kid about responsibility? Okay. When you are training your child, when you are teaching responsibility, there should be measures. Okay. You tell the child, if you don't do this, you can't have this. For instance, a child finished eating. If you don't clear up the mess on the table, you won't get to play with your toys. You put that measure in place. If you don't finish your chores, you won't watch television, or you won't go out with your friend. So you put those things in place, and the child will get to know that, okay, I have to do this, I have to accept this, doing this. If I don't do it, I won't get to do the other things. In your work, does physical discipline, having to use the rod, does it come in at any point when you're teaching kids about responsibility? Yes. Even the Bible says don't spare the rod. Spare the rod, you spare the child. I'm not saying you beat all the time. You don't. Before you get to that point, you must have, corrected the child or warned, okay, this is right, this is wrong. You don't do this, you do this. Before you get to the point of using rod. And when you are using rod, you are not beating the child and you are taking him to the hospital the next, moment. No. You use the rod sparingly. Okay? When I say use the rod, even sometimes once you bring out the rod, the child is already shivering, okay? Because he doesn't want you to cane. But if you want to use the rod, you can just pat, use the rod. Give me your palm. 1, 2. You are not flogging, and the child faints, and you are rushing the child to the hospital. No.
So you're saying there's a place, because a lot of people will tell you that absolutely that it should not come into play.
I won't buy into that. Yes, you should use a rod.
You should.
You should.
Now, moving on, when they've gotten to a point whereby, maybe getting into their adolescent or into their teenage years, at this point in time, external influences, peer influence starts coming in. At this point in time, they start bringing in things from outside and all of that. And then you start seeing that the things that you've been teaching them, maybe, there's a little bit of something might be shaking there and all of that. In those situations where something you've taught them when they were growing up, and then they come in bringing things that have influenced that thing per se, how do you react in such situations?
Okay. You won't shout. Okay. You just call the child. You sit the child down. I've told you before, I've taught you that this is wrong, this is not good. So why are you doing this? Let the child talk to you and listen when the child is talking. Ask questions when you see strange things with your children. Why do you have to do this? Where do you see this? Who gave you this? Do you understand what I'm saying? Let the child, when you are doing it, you are not on top of your voice, you are not shouting, ranting. Because if you do that, definitely the child will know that, okay, I'm in trouble. The child will start hiding things from you henceforth. So don't do that. Just sit the child down. You must be friends with your child anyway, right from the beginning. So they will be free to talk to you.
All right.
To share with you.
Share with you.
Yes.
All right, thank you very much. That was quite instructive, and I hope we're able to pick up something from that.
Thank you so much.
All right, thank you. All right, it's time to head over to the kitchen. Let's see what's happening in there.
Okay, it's time for us to get some African dish done this morning. And to do justice to that is Chef Shebi Otimo. Yeah. Always a pleasure to have you in the studio. So when she comes, you can imagine you're going to learn something indigenous. And today she is making for us African rice. In fact, that should be you telling us. Tell us about breakfast today.
I want to push saying it.
Okay.
African rice. So there's nothing new, but always new.
Isn't that the same thing I said?
You are not posh enough, so
I was not posh enough, okay. I could poshness, man.
Yes.
All right, so let's talk about the ingredients. What are we making use of?
Yeah, making use of our carrots,
okay,
our sausage,
okay,
mixed pepper,
okay,
turkey,
okay,
crab,
okay,
crayfish, beans peel, cabbage, onion, bell pepper, the red, the green,
the running beans, salt, seasoning.
Secret of the recipe.
Aha, so you have so many spices mixed into that.
Yes.
And you are saying secrets, meaning you're not going to tell us what's in it.
I'm not saying that. I just said secret of the recipe.
Okay, so, what is inside the secret?
Secret. When you say secret,
what's the difference between what I said and what you're saying now? You see this,
you're just trying to twist me and let me say something.
Yes, nah.
I'll just give you clear.
Okay.
Not everything.
Okay.
Just tinting it.
Okay. What's in it?
Ginger.
Okay.
Garlic. Cinnamon. Coriander. I will not say it again. Secret of the recipe.
Your aqua is too much. Okay, but now with all of these ingredients, we don't even have to doubt that there's something African about it, because we can see the pepper. The moment you see pepper, you know it's going to be something jollof-y. So you want to keep your fingers crossed for that. But I don't know how she's going to pull it off, or whether there's a twist to it, which is what we're going to find out. Because you can see sausages in African rice. I'm not, well, let's find out what she's up to.
When you are cooking Nigerian rice is Nigerian rice.
So you have to put different things so people can enjoy it when they are eating it.
People, we are so used to this foreign rice. Now that we are not using Nigerian rice, everybody is like, it's not sweet, it's not sweet. So the only way you can make it interesting
is to really spice it up with different things.
Don't spend your pocket.
On your pocket. So you can still add things in it. And it is still African rice, even if you take some things out of it. It's still African rice. Okay. Okay, so what's the process like? Run us through it.
Our rice is cooking already.
Yes. We are talking about African rice, and we did not mention the rice. The rice is on fire. We are currently trying to get that one boiled so that we can put everything together for you to see. So that's the rice right now. Okay, so run us through the process. What's the first thing we're going to do when the rice is ready?
When the rice, I'm going to parboil the rice.
Okay.
Not going to be soggy in the water.
Okay.
I'm going to take it away. After taking it away, oil. I didn't bring out the oil.
Okay. Then you put in some oil.
Taking it away. Then I'll take the water away. Put the oil. After the oil,
okay.
I'll spice this with my pepper.
Okay.
I'm going to.
Okay, like
sauce it.
Okay, like peppered turkey. The ingredients are on your screen right now, by the way, so you can keep up with us. So you make it like pepper turkey.
Yes, by the side. Then I'll now put all this inside. Then I'll now put the rest will not be the next.
See, we are not going to enjoy the description as we will enjoy the eventual product. So we'll keep our fingers crossed for that, and then of course we'll show you how far we've gone when next we come back, okay? We'll take this break. Wake Up Nigeria continues in a bit. Spend my money!
Listen, guys, do not wish for a perfect life. Don't please rather wish for an imperfect one. So you got imperfect people like this, where everything feels perfect by showing little acts of craziness. Hope you're having a great day and a bright one. Welcome to the second hour here.
Yeah, now we might not be perfect. I might not be perfect, but you know I'm very good for you. But hey, we try. No, let me be correct now. We try each day to attain perfection by creating the no, it's not gonna work. We give you the best breakfast show. You know what it is.
We give you the best breakfast as well. Mary and Chef Chibi Otimio in the kitchen here. How's it going in there, ladies?
Well, so far so good. Still going, literally. Don't worry, the food will soon be ready.
Well, we look forward to it. Yes.
Yeah. Now, this is what you get when you tune to the right breakfast show. We give you the right amount of everything you need to give your day a lift.
Including crazy.
No, now, this is the way Mary just puts me down. I'm just going to be prim and proper.
It's all good.
Yeah.
My name...
Yes. To be ginger.
Okay, so as it is, as she said, it is African rice. Can I calm down now? Can I calm down now? Or should I still raise it?
No, it's okay.
Calm down, ladies. Ladies. All right, now, my name is Mazino Appeal.
And I am Tokwe Olonio. Now, remember, you can use the hashtag WakeUpNigeria on TVC across all our social media platforms, TVC Connect, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Be a part of the conversation that we already started doing What's Up and About and social media. And let's know what you think.
All righty, now, you can also watch us on Facebook and also on Google iOS, or the app, rather, download on Google iOS or on Play Store. So let's let you guys know exactly what we have coming up this hour for Wake Up Nigeria.
Up on Health, we will be joined by Anne Omolayo, a certified caregiver who specializes in geriatrics caregiving. She's coordinator and founder of Jordan Spring Care. She will be discussing how do you manage incontinence in the elderly.
Oh, yes. Shay Shay is with us this hour. You guys want to join us? Stay tuned. You're going to love this one.
Okay, so I know we don't have so much time. We're actually going to talk about Nollywood movies.
What did we do this time?
How... So I forgot you are part of Nollywood.
Oh, you came guns ready, huh?
Let me get my AK-47.
Prepare it, because I have my arm already.
Listen, I'm just going to summarize.
It's not you, but some of the... Okay, summarize.
I'm just going to summarize what she said last week. She said that
yesterday.
Yesterday, she is getting tired of the monotony, especially when it comes to certain subjects as what now...
No, if it's not rituals, it's prostitution. If it's not prostitution, it's molestation. If it's not molestation, it's robbery. Can we talk about things that actually...
Do you watch Nigeria films in the cinemas? Nigeria films on Netflix?
Those ones are different. We're talking about the ones that we get to watch every time on terrestrial TV.
Please, let's separate these two ladies.
It's time to go.
Welcome to the news update on Wake Up Nigeria. My name is Tokwe Olonio. We begin this hour in Abuja, where the federal government has reintroduced COVID-19 restrictions across all 36 states and the Federal Capital Territory. This new directive is to take effect yesterday. This was part of the resolution of the Presidential Steering Committee earlier yesterday in the capital city. A member of the Presidential Steering Committee, Mukhtar Mohammed, who is the head of Technical Secretariat of the PSC, made the announcement while briefing reporters in Abuja. With the restrictions imposed, mass gatherings in public spaces have been restricted to 50 people at any given time. Access to government institutions would also be denied to anyone not wearing a face mask, while government meetings and travels have been limited to the virtual platforms. According to Muhammad, the government has directed that bars and nightclubs should remain closed and the nationwide curfew will be in full force until further notice. He added that only essential international travels will be encouraged and all existing protocols must still be strictly adhered to. The PSC member, however, stated that there is no limitation to intrastate travel. Meanwhile, the returning foreign passengers who fled the quarantine facilities and violated the compulsory requirements will no longer go unpunished. The Secretary to the Government of the Federation, SGF boss Mustafa, stated this at the resumed briefing of the Presidential Steering Committee on COVID-19 in Abuja. He noted that the committee has received reports that some persons who recently returned to the country violated the mandatory quarantine requirement under the advisory by escaping from the facilities. Mr. Mustafa, who is also the PSC chairman, condemned the violation of the nation's law and hospitality, noting that the committee was awaiting the report of ongoing investigations and would impose appropriate sanctions on the violators. The SGF explained this became important in view of the fragile state of the nation's health systems, the disruption to the delivery of vaccines, and the lack of compliance with the extant public health measures and social measures contained in the Coronavirus Disease Health Protection Regulation 2021. Outside Nigeria, a growing number of current and recovered COVID-19 patients in India are contracting a deadly and rare fungal infection as the vast nation battles to contain a massive outbreak of virus cases. The world's second most populous nation reported nearly 370,000 coronavirus infections to be taking overall number of the cases to just under 22.7 million and more than 3,700 new deaths. Experts warn that the actual number of cases and fatalities could be much higher. Mucormycosis, dubbed black fungus by doctors in India, is usually most aggressive in patients whose immune systems are weakened by other infections. Medical experts said they had seen a rise in cases in India in recent weeks, while the Health Ministry on Sunday released an advisory on how to treat the infection. The Central Bank Governor, Mr. Godwin Emefiele, has called for more private sector involvement in improving the healthcare sector in the country. The CBN governor, who made the disclosure at the premiere of documentary on Nigeria's response to the COVID-19 pandemic titled Unmasked, says the Apex Bank has disbursed over 83.9 billion naira to pharmaceutical and healthcare practitioners in the country since the outbreak of the COVID-19 pandemic. Mr. Emefiele also said building a robust healthcare infrastructure is critical to containing the spread of the pandemic in Nigeria, adding that the CBN remains committed to working with all stakeholders in improving access to the finance and credits that will support the development of a viable healthcare infrastructure in the country. Meanwhile, Lagos State Governor Mr. Babajide Sanwo-Olu further called for the structure of the country's governance system, particularly the cost of governance, in order to make government at all levels safe and more revenue needed to fund key infrastructure in the country.
I know that indeed what COVID had brought forward to us are things that indeed, if we take the positive side of it, we can use to galvanize and to create, that tomorrow and the belief that we're saying to ourselves. And so let's look at ourselves in the face and ask ourselves that what are the lessons and the learning that COVID indeed has passed on to our generation.
That's all we can take on the news update on Wake Up Nigeria for today. Moving on, we do have our health expert joining us this morning. We have Anne Omolayo, a certified caregiver who specializes in geriatrics caregiving. She is the coordinator and founder of Jordan Spring Care, and today she will be discussing how do you manage incontinence in the elderly. Now, there are many factors that causes incontinence, such as dementia. The cognitive decline in the elderly makes it difficult for them to locate the restroom and other things. Good to have you here, Omolayo.
Thank you for having me. It's actually Anne Omolayo Anyobadijo.
Anne Omolayo.
Anyobadijo.
Anyobadijo, yes. Okay, yes.
Okay, so we were talking about dementia the last time, okay, and some of the health issues that come with dementia. one of it is incontinence. So because they forget a lot, they can remember 45 years ago better than 45 seconds, they become so disorientated, so they can't locate the restroom. So at that point, they probably do it on themselves. So it's a situation that embarrasses them. It's not something that it's done on purpose. And, you know, a lot of Nigerians have this stereotype that the elderly, they pee on themselves, they do everything on themselves. It's really not their fault. So we really need to demystify our understanding of the elderly. We need to really understand the aging process, because it is actually a decline. The body tones down drastically. So they can't really help themselves. I mean, I tell people that dementia in itself can occur even at an early age of 40, depending on your lifestyle. Yeah. And then part of the things that also causes incontinence as a result of dementia is if you're introducing things like coffee, tea, alcohol, or some certain medication actually causes them to use the restroom a lot. So you have, because of this, we educate people that if they need to use the restroom, sometimes depending on your client, when you assess your client, remember it's a non-medical service you're offering. Yeah. So you also need the medical team to be on board to be able to tell you what kind of care plan this person needs. The meal plans, the type of ailment that the person is going through, the stage and the phase of the dementia is very important for the caregiver to know, so as to give adequate care. Yeah. It's not like we are all caregivers as far as I'm concerned. We all are. But we need that professional training to be able to meet the needs of your client. We need love and compassion to deal with the elderly. If you don't have love, patience and compassion, you will make them feel less of themselves. And that's not where you want them to be. Yeah. So it's quite important we put measures in place. Like there's this chair called the commode, where you situate it beside their bed, and they can easily use that as a way to ease themselves. Yeah. And sometimes you might just need a stopwatch to time them and then guide them to the restroom.
So how do you deal with patients whose level of dementia has progressed to the point where the brain stops functioning and the level of control they have is 0 to none?
Good. I love your question. Now, like I said, you need the medical team. The doctor would actually come in and place the catheter. There's certain things that they can actually attach to the body that will collect the urine and also the fecal waste. So it's really important that the doctor comes in to check the patient regularly. Yeah. Now, we always do self-medication, unsolicited advice from people when we are dealing with the elderly. But really, they need professional care. And it's only caregivers that can give them that love and compassion. We forget that these people were very active when they were young, and they still remember that, so they feel embarrassed when they can't help themselves. We all, even as we are now, when we fall ill and we're not in control of our body, we get frustrated. Not to now talk of something that is a permanent damage to the brain. So you have to assist them with love. Some of them are a bit cranky, but because you are the professional, you have to see them from a different light. And that's why I always emphasize, and I'm actually training people to see the need to love and have compassion on the elderly, because it cannot be overemphasized.
Now, still talking about dementia, because my grandma, until she passed, she had dementia. Okay. And there's a point where they get to where they're very aggravated. Now, as a caregiver, how do you manage them in such conditions? Because sometimes it starts from like level 0 of aggravation all the way up. Now, how do you handle them at that point?
As a caregiver, one of the things you're taught to do is to observe and monitor. Like, the person might be experiencing what you call sundown disorientation. It might be because of the light in the environment. Because when you're dealing with the elderly, especially those with dementia, you need to change the aesthetics of the environment. You have to have an architect come in and install certain things that will aid them. You have to have an interior decoration. It's a surprise to people when you say, oh, you have to change the environment and make it more comfortable for them. What causes aggression in some elderly people is light. They can't stand the intensity of light, and it confuses them a lot. So you have drapes. So you create this very warm, cozy environment, even during the day.
Okay.
So it's very important.
Thank you so much, Omolaya. I have learned something, and I'm sure a lot of people have.
Thank you for having me.
And definitely we might continue this conversation next week. Who knows? If you want more information, definitely you should visit our YouTube channel and get more information on how to care for people who have dementia, or you can use the social media platforms and communicate with our specialists. But on Wake Up Nigeria, we have so much more. You do not want to go anywhere. We will be right back.
That moment is here. We know you've all been waiting, and so have we, believe me. Now, singer, songwriter, actress, judge on Nigerian Idol, Deborah Oluwaseyi, also known as Shay Shay, in the building. Thank you.
I used to do video fox.
What's that?
That's your position of vixen.
Video vixen. Also, you're the fox. Yeah. Okay, I get it.
So, I do it also.
You do it?
Yeah.
Okay. So next video, we'll contact you
it's great
for the next video.
On Wake Up Nigeria. We'll
Thank you so much. Good morning.
First off, I want to say I followed your career from when you came back into music, and then you went into acting. My wife is the biggest fan you'll ever imagine.
Really?
She made me see
What's
the
her
movie.
Name?
Her name is Jennifer.
Jennifer. Hi, Jennifer.
She said you must see this movie. She can really act. I was forced to see it. I saw it and I liked it. I like your acting. I think you're fantastic.
Thank you.
And then
Lara and the Beats, right? Okay. Which is on Netflix at the moment, actually.
Were you really on that bike? Did you get on the bike? Or was that a double?
I can't give away the trade secrets.
But then again, you
maybe
on
it was,
TV
maybe it wasn't.
As a judge is another Shay Shay altogether.
Altogether, is it?
It is, and I'm going to tell you.
So the good thing about Nigerian Idol and me being a judge on it is that, like, a lot of my fans, semi-fans,
haters,
all join. A lot of people that really didn't get to know my character or know who I really am as just a person, get to see me talking and, interacting and a different person.
What they've done, what they know.
Yeah, because I've always heard that a lot of people think I have a very unapproachable personality. I've heard that people never really see me as anything but like a singer. And, so doing Nigerian Idol has really opened up the perception now of people. Okay. But aside from that, also, I'm quite an honest person, right? I don't beat around the bush. I never have. I think if anybody has been my fan since Right Now and Murder, those days, they will know that I'm very bold. I'm very honest. Because I think honesty is what the world needs right now more than anything, right? Because we're living in this weird, warped social media universe, right?
Exactly.
So a lot of people think and believe that what they're seeing is reality, and it depresses a lot of people.
Yeah. How have you been able to deal with the backlash? Now that's something because a number of people have come after you after those,
We have been filming since January, February, and we auditioned. Idols auditioned thousands of people. Yeah. All right, we were on set 12 hours every day. Oh, wow. At some point, when you're getting 100 and something contestants and you're only hearing 5 good voices, you become deaf and angry, right? True. So, but the truth is, a lot of my feedback was honest, and it was and my feedback also was fair.
You would have to No. But do you know talk about backlash, like
I don't read it. I don't read it. No, I don't know. I don't even know. All I know is that people were saying horrible things to me but now the live shows are here and everybody has seen the final 11, and I'm sure they now know why we were so hard. Yeah. Because we needed to find the cream of the crop. It's a singing contest. It's not a joke.
Now let's talk about your music that you have out already. Pimpy.
Yeah.
With Yemi Alade. You couldn't have picked a better person. I love Yemi Alade as much as I love you.
Thank you.
And I think that combination is fantastic.
Two judges.
Africa. 2 judges, by the way.
2 judges.
Let's put that out there.
That was not strategic. We recorded this song a year ago.
Oh.
I will no word of a lie. I recorded this song in Ghana with my producers and my A&Rs, and then we were listening to it, and lyrically it's so real and so true to me, you know, the slander on social media.
But wonderful song, I must say.
Thank you. The video is out now.
Yeah,
Thank you. The video is out now on YouTube and on Apple Music. The song is out and it's doing very well already.
Yes, now you mentioned this. A number of guys came up and, you know, they were like, oh, done stuff for you, this and all of that. Why would that even come in the first place?
Guys?
Yes.
No, it happens. You know, somebody told me that guys talk a lot more than females do. Is that true?
Not true.
Not true.
Absolutely not true.
So when you guys are in your little groups
well,
and crews, and there's a few, y'all have a few drinks
Number
and you're
one,
talking.
for me, it has to be football. So
Right.
Women,
That's what
they
I
come
would
in,
have
but not
thought,
in that way.
actually. But
Okay.
then I heard, from a guy that, hey, Shay, guys talk more than girls. So be careful who you take pictures with. Be careful who you hang out with. Sometimes, you know, you have a guy friend or you think he's a friend and you hang out with him and you guys are just, you know, chilling or, you know, out or watching something and you're at his house or he's at your house and it's like all of a sudden he slept with you. And these are the things that we have to go through, right? And sometimes you're just taking a picture with a random guy or a celebrity guy or something, you know, and then the fans decide, oh, that they must be sleeping together. Yeah, and so this is what women have to go through a lot, and you know, especially peperimpis like me, you know. So the song was just a venting song, you know. It was to the trolls, to those people that carry rumors, to those people that, you know, think they have things to say, and you know, it's a crime. Well, it's a crime to be a female in this industry, in any industry, and it's a crime to be pretty female in this industry or in the industry, right?
You know, one thing, there's this thing, we've discussed this at different times, women supporting women. Is it a reality or is it a myth? Is it really true? You know, you've done this with Yemi Alade, but that's something that a lot of women have been accused of in the industry, that you ladies don't really support yourselves. Ladies are the ones that, forget, guys say stuff, but you find out that maybe go to the comments, the ladies are the ones that are bashing the ladies the most.
Yeah, it's so sad. It's so sad. Ladies, can we stop this? Can we stop it? Can we stop it? Can't you see that there is power in unity? There's power in togetherness. I understand that we have to fight for every single thing that we get. Whether it be a job, a position, a man, you know, we always got to fight for that spot, right? But there's no point in fighting ourselves. There's no point in fighting. We can work together and we can achieve more, we can get more. It sounds like, oh, you know, elementary, but actually, it actually is elementary, right? And that's the truth. Like, we can achieve so much more if we stop bringing each other down. Because everybody's going to die one day, right? And you cannot have the spot forever. You will get old, you will get ugly, you will die. You understand? So you have to leave something for the next generation of females that are coming up behind you. And that is a good example. You have to leave that good example. You have to leave that example that we don't actually need men, sorry to say.
And on that note, music video.
We need ourselves more. They need us.
Hey,
welcome to the kitchen, Shay Shay.
Welcome, Shay Shay.
This food for
yes,
real?
Yes, you are. But before you eat, I would like to ask for your thoughts on the prospective case in South Africa of women marrying more than one husband. What do you feel about it?
Fantastic.
Okay, so you should eat.
Fantastic.
It's time for you
For
to
that
eat.
What do you think?
I think it's beautiful.
Who is married here?
All
You're
of
married.
us. So-
Okay, you're all married.
No, except
Please, I beg you.
Except you.
I beg.
I'm going to put you on the spot right now. What do you think about this new legislation? You don't want it. And what about you?
If I could, I can't afford it. So let's talk about the food.
Yes.
But that's why
Chef,
they made it, that's why they want to make it legal, right?
Yeah.
Okay, but now
so
let's
dig
have
into
you.
the meal.
Okay.
Chef Shebi Otimo prepared breakfast today, African rice. Let's know your opinion on it quickly.
You give us
Excuse me, can I have a tissue?
Okay, sure.
Thank you.
Okay.
There you go.
Thank you so much.
Yes. Let's have you taste and then give us a rating 1 to 10. What do you think?
All right.
Are you ready? Yes.
Did you prepare this here in
Here,
the studio?
this morning.
From scratch.
Amen.
African pempe.
Is it African pempe?
Peperimpe.
Peperimpe. Fabulous. Thank you so much,
All right,
Shay.
thank you so much. It's a wrap. Thank you so much for being a part of the show today. Thanks to everyone who has contributed.
Yes.
Mike and Mazino, bye-bye. Bye-bye, everybody. Bye.